guys, another transit, and it's so exciting. We're here, Juliette Stapleton and Anita Keen. We're going to talk a little bit briefly about what is going on right now. As you know, I'm not a human design expert, but I consider myself an enthusiast, and I love these transits because they also set me up for the week ahead as well. So I'm going to give you a brief outline of what I've researched, what's going on, and then we're going to ask Anita to also contribute. Anita's so much more knowledgeable in terms of the gates and what's going on with the planetary, bigger transits, planetary influences, and I'm always really excited to hear what's going on top of what I found out. But there's a reason why I'm really excited this week, because the sun is in the gate 16, which is the gate of skills, and it's really interesting. I have the whole channel of talent, which is the 1648, and the gate of skills is really interesting to me, because this is all about repetition and mastery over repetition and learning something, diving into something that you're enthusiastic about, and through repetition, becoming a master of it, which always makes me think of this little stand-up sketch, not sketch, but a stand-up comedian. And I don't remember who it was. It was an Australian guy with a beard and a bandana. And he was talking about mastery. And this just stuck in my head years ago. And he said, in the beginning, we all suck. Then as we do things, we suck a little less, and eventually we suck so little, we're almost perfect. And I think it's important, and it's so funny, but it always reminds me in the beginning of any process, when it feels difficult, when it's annoying, when you feel like, oh, am I so stupid? I can't, why am I not getting progress? Because in the beginning, everybody sucks, right? At everything, whatever they start. And this is really cool. So the energy of the week here now is about mastery. It's not about being bad at everything. It's not about starting new things, just to be very clear. But it is about asking yourself, what am I so enthusiastic about? Because there's this energy of enthusiasm that comes with wanting to become a master. So what am I so enthusiastic about that I can spend my energy on, and I can hone in on that skill, and through repetition, through practicing, bring it to mastery? And that's really cool. Plus, the Earth is in the gate of focus, gate 9, which gives you this grounding, saying, what am I enthusiastic that I can focus on this week? What a perfect energy to do your online visibility, stuff. For me, I am already activated. I can already see how not just random ideas, but there are certain things that I am seeing clearly. Okay, what can I do in the future? It's a very future oriented sort of energy. What can I do? What can I focus on? And the ideas are coming in, and I see that there is this grounding, the focus that helps me implement this, which is really cool. There's a couple of things that I find that like a warning for this transit. And remember, guys, if you are new to transit, so even if you're not, I will just remind you again that the transit is a temporary energy. It's like a flavoring, that you have. You have, plain vanilla ice cream, and then there's different sprinkles you can put, or like you can put some chocolate. So this is just the flavor. The moment you licked that topping off, right, you just end up with this white ice cream. So that's the way to see it. The topping will eventually expire next week. So a lot of us tend to get caught up in these temporary energies, especially when they're somehow might be negative. And there's a negative and positive aspect to all transits, right? I wanted to also give you a couple of warning signs here as well. But it's really good to be aware that this is happening. So when you find yourself getting caught up in it, you are aware that this is actually something that's likely to happen this week. So don't take it so personally. Life is for the living rather than for reacting. And this is what is so important. So one of the things that this energy of being very enthusiastic and the skill and mastering it, one of the things that where there is a warning sign is that you might be drawn to depths, which means that you might feel like you want to study something in depth or up-level your expertise, and that's a good thing, right? But what do we do often when we feel like we need more depth? We go and invest into other kind of trainings and workshops, and we invest a lot of money, looking for more. So yes, if you feel, if your strategy and authority, tells you, yes, do it, of course you should do it. This is a good week for it. However, to save you some money, here's a tip. Go and have a look what you already have invested in, and you haven't actually studied it, but you obviously were enthusiastic about it when you invested. So there's one of the ways where you can just leverage this current transit energy of wanting to master something and up-level yourself with something you already have and you just didn't get a chance to learn, to master, to study. I have tons. I'm sure I'm not the only one. I have tons of things that I really know they will benefit me. Wasn't an impulsive decision to, to purchase the courses, the books, but this is the week for you to start diving in. So dive in. And that's a really good energy, I think. So in a little beware section here as well from me to you. One of the things is that this gate 16 is the gate on your throat center, which means there could be a lot of expression. And expression comes, in a dual way. It can be expressed positively or negatively. You can be very enthusiastic and you can have like idealistic hopes and dreams that you're expressing. But other people can get a little triggered by that and they can say, oh, come on, like you're hopeless romantic, hopeless dreamer. This is not good. And they can express the opposite, discouragement. So if that happens, whether you are the one expressing or on the receiving end, remember it's the energy of the transit. Don't take it personally. Do you? I always say, you do you, right? And definitely don't just hold back and let go of a conflict, basically. I'm saying there's no need. It's just the energy and it's a gate of expression. So it's going to be expressed whichever you want. And the other thing as well is beware of heightened self-criticism, because this is where we can feel like, oh, I don't know enough, and that also can drive you into desperately trying to master your skills because you're very critical. I don't have enough, and then maybe spending extra money. And sometimes it's not really required. So, just remember that. So instead, what you can do is you can dive in into whatever you have that you really love. I find that this is really cool. So for example, in your marketing, in your online visibility, what are the tactics, what are the activities that you actually love doing? Like I love recording conversations. I love writing articles. I've already sensed this energy because this is now the second day of, or the end of the first 24 hours of this transit. I already feel like, okay, I can write, I can talk, of course, I even was putting up makeup and, talking into my Otter app. Express yourself, dive into things and activities and whatever you like doing, go into the next level of it. That will also help you up-level your expertise. So those are the little trends that I've researched. Anita, what do you have to add to this?
Oh yeah, I love what you just said, that we're up leveling, because that's where all the energies are right now. You see, we all experience these energies. It's how we experience them is based on our design. And in this energy at the moment, we've moved from Earth, which is grounded and solid and potentially stuck, into this mind energy, air. And the air is grounded by Sagittarius in fire. So it's really fueling those ideas to give you the enthusiasm to actually take the action. And it is the axis astrologically of education. So we're moving from the practical details to, right, how can we apply them in our life? How can we, it's like my husband went to college to do engineering. Now, the difference between any engineer and a great engineer is the ability to put that information to practice using your brilliance, your expertise from practice, right? To be able to do that. And it's just so cool. I'm just going to add another couple of things there with respect to the gates. Gate 16, it's really when you are sharing your enthusiasm or taking that action, make sure you're prepared enough. Make sure you're grounding that idea into your decision strategy, because that's really the thing that stops you from jumping without looking, and it helps you be really intentional about where you're moving forward in your marketing. And the other thing is, even when you don't know all the details, sometimes this is the opposite, right? One is that you don't have enough detail and you're maybe a little bit too superficial. The other is Sometimes you do have enough information. Sometimes when you combine your intuitive wisdom with your intellectual wisdom and the information, it is time to go. But you might stop yourself because you won't feel ready, right? And as Juliette said, you jump into another course or you jump into something new when actually what you need to do is ground into this. And the other thing you're going to see as we're doing these transits, how how we're being guided through Gemini and how to work that energy. So last week it was, but stay in the now, so that we can know what details to focus on that'll support our skill set, right? Our mastery. So it's so cool when you actually get into this. I'm really excited about
Yeah,
it.
I love that too. It's just, it really is important. It's one thing, may I just stick one thing here? Because, we're talking about take action, this week, but do remember, take the human design, play with your human design, follow your strategy and decision-making authority, enter your opportunities correctly. Don't just have an idea and act on it. This is not how we're designed. Only manifestors with some conditions are designed to initiate and be proactive in life. Everybody else, no, we have something that we need to just pause and wait. And waiting is not passive, so you can still study and you can still master things, but follow your strategy and authority to take aligned action. And I thought it's important to have a disclaimer here.
Exactly. And this is what's key, because this is the difference between me jumping in with the fab idea that might be someone else's fab idea, or jumping in with the idea that's correct for me. And of course, this is going to be huge and this is also the energy. I'm so excited. This is also the energy where you can be full of good intentions, but you have that inner resistance that says, hang on, have you enough information? Hang on, is it going deep enough? And so you'll be full of good intentions that you won't get off the ground. Because the missing piece is connecting to that decision strategy, right? And this is what human design, why it's so key to help us personally navigate these experiences, these energies that we're experiencing day by day. It's really, really cool. And I think that's it, really.
I just have a little interesting thing as well, like a practical thing that I have researched as well about the current transit. There's a good energy here to sort of let go of things that lack beauty or use or utility for you. And I love that, because it can be taken literally, as in have a look around and see what you actually don't like, what's there that doesn't need to be there, because it's all clogging your energy flow, right? But also in the grand scheme of things, what is currently in your life you can say goodbye to, you can let go of, because it is keeping you stuck rather than moving. It is keeping you doubting and holding yourself back rather than leaning into mastery, leaning into practicing so you can achieve mastery, leaning into going to the next level with what you love, because this is all the energy about following what you love and being adaptable as well, because when we're looking, this is a future oriented, this is a future thinking, like mastery is always ahead, right? That's why the negative side of this coin is that you feel like I don't know enough, because there's more to know, for example, before you share. And as a 1-3 person who, this is the imposter syndrome in one line, is that exactly thing. I don't know if I can share now because I don't know if this is enough what I know. But you do know a lot already. And so, yes, of course, there's going to be always more, but you can already share what's concrete. You can already share what you know. And that is what creates the basis of expressing yourself now in the moment. And you should. Don't hold yourself back. Even if something that doesn't have a complete cycle to it. For example, I'll give you like a practical example. This morning, I was thinking about how in human design, very often, especially when we are reading and talking about non-energy types, projectors, reflectors, manifestors, we're talking about like we live in a generator's world. And while the statement statistically is correct because there's 70% of generator types, it's not a correct way to think that, we're all trying to be made into generators and we're living in the world that is, playing the game that is created for generators, because the generators are conditioned just as badly into go get it, make life what you want it to be, all this motivational bullshit, pardon my Estonian, but really truly they're here to relax into life. And I was just thinking, okay, I can create a piece of content about this, right? But if you think about how much it could involve, like I have to explain all the strategy and everything. And I felt that resistance thinking, oh, should I do it? Should I not do it? And then I thought, no, because when you're expressing yourself, it could be just an insight into an aspect, and let someone else wonder. It's a good thing to have an open ending where somebody else wonders and thinks about it a little bit, rather than to serve them the whole dish. You just give them a taster. So that's the kind of thing that this energy helps you to be adaptable, to allow yourself just the next step in your practice towards the mastery. You're not here to become a master in this week alone with these transits. It's only just to hone in deeper and take the next step and take the practice. I really, really love this energy.
Absolutely. And, when we think about it, we've more information available to us now than any other generation has had previously. And so what this is teaching us is how to discern effectively what information is relevant to me. It takes us out of following the guru and going, being gullible to, to the marketer or to the business person who said, oh, I've made $1 gazillion doing this. You can too, which is bullshit, because of course you have your own way of doing it. Excuse my French, but it's just realizing that this is helping us understand. Yes, we can be very scattered and dissipated with all the information that's available, but when you know how you are designed to actually discern what information is relevant to you, that doesn't just save you a load of time, it saves you a lot of investments in courses that you never needed,
and energy,
work systems that you never needed, and you can get really dialed into what's truly going to support you. So it's brilliant. What details are relevant to me to be brilliant at this?
That I love. Exactly. So enthusiasm comes into this. And by the way, just one thing, when we're talking about the enthusiasm, because there's always a shadow that comes with it. So on the shadow aspect of this transit, what you can experience is apathy and lack of enthusiasm. And focusing on futility more than trying to look forward. If you find yourself in those energy, remember, you can't flip the coin. It is the energy of the week. It's not you. You're just somehow, maybe you need to realign where you are. Maybe you're pushing through something. Maybe you've entered something incorrectly in the first place. You didn't follow your strategy and authority. And now you're just like trying to walk through the wall. But remember, the way to deal with that wall is to walk around it. Left or right is the direction. It's not through, because it's a wall. So maybe you can see life is for the living, right? And think about, what are you enthusiastic about? Is there anything? It might not be, here's what I see very often. People are getting very apathetic. It's like, oh, I can't work. And, I'm not excited this week about my work. There's like, is there any point? Well, park it. Do you like dancing? Go dance around your kitchen. Do something that you are enthusiastic about, that you do love doing. Do you like gardening? Go out. It's summer in half of the world anyway. This is the way to deal with this. Be adaptable, shift. You have control over shifting your focus. And this is the grounding energy, the gate of focus, right? Shift your focus. Get into that thing you are enthusiastic about, and see how everything else starts shifting as well. So these are the energies of the week, and let us know if you're feeling that they're affecting you, how you coping with them, and we hopefully see you next week.